Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Kiddushin, Perek Beis, Chapter 2, Mishnah Yud, Mishnah 10. Again, continuing with different scenarios about making Kiddushin with certain things. So, Mekadesh, one who makes Kiddushin on a woman, Betrumas, he gives her Truma. Got it? Hamakadesh Betrumas, one who makes Kiddushin with Truma. Now we know that produce that grows in Eretz Yisrael, reading here from the notes, produce that grows in Eretz Yisrael may not be eaten until certain portions have been separated from it. The first portion separated is Teruma. Truma is given to a Kohen and may be eaten only by Kohanim and the members of their households. Okay? So now, a Kohen is going over to a woman, or that's right now the example would be that way. The Kohen has Truma, he's going over to a woman, and he's going to get to her for Kiddushin. So, the Mishnah is going to say that it works. The reason it works is because since Truma belongs to the Kohen, to it is given, he can use it to betroth a woman. I mean, it's his. It's not like we said before, a sacrifice really belongs, to Hashem. It belongs to it's divine property. It's not really yours, just that you can, partake of it. Not Truma. Truma is not like that. Truma has sanctity. Truma has specific laws. Only a Kohen can eat it. But at the end of the day, it's his property. And therefore, he can give it to a woman for Kiddushin. Now, the other question is, what about who is this woman? I mean, if she's outside the daughter of a Kohen, okay, so she can eat Truma because she's daughter of a Kohen. But let's say she's not a daughter of a Kohen. What's she going to do with the Truma then? What's the value of it for her? The answer is because she could sell it to a Kohen. You don't get a lot of money for that for Truma because it's very limited to who can eat it. But at the end of the day, it has value to anybody because she could sell it to a Kohen. So as long as she could sell it for a pruta, it has the value of a pruta, then she accepts it, the Kiddushin will work. The next example is Maisris. The person makes Kiddushin with Masris, with ties. Okay, so what does that mean? So now, again, I'll read from the notes. After Truma is separated from the crop, the owner separates Meiser Rishon, 1/10, meaning which is called the first tithing, 1/10 of the remaining produce after the Truma has been separated, which again, the amount of Truma, the standard amount is 1/50th of the crop for Truma. Now, after that's been separated, 1/10 goes now for Meiser Rishon, for the first tithing. Who gets the Meiser Rishon? The Levi. Okay. The owner then separates 1/10 of the remaining produce. In the first, second, fourth, and fifth years of the Shemitah cycle, he designates the second 1/10 as Meiser Sheni, which literally means the second tithing, which is brought to Yerushalayim. In the third and sixth years of the Shemitah cycle, he designates it as Meiser Ani, the tithing for the poor, which is given to the poor. Now, these portions may be eaten by anyone, right? Meiseris goes to the Levi. Can the Levi give his Meiser to anybody else? Sure he can. Okay? The Meiser Sheni that we're talking about, whoever owns that Meiser Sheni, eats it. Meiser Ani to the poor, again, anybody who's poor. And if that person wants to share it with somebody else who's not poor, he has every right to. And then that person can partake of it. The Meiser Sheni we discussed previously. That was in the previous Mishnah. Our Mishnah discusses Meiser Rishon and Meiser Ani, the tithing that goes to the Levi or the tithing that goes to the Ani, to the poor man. Since these portions belong to them, they can use it from the Kaddish woman. And she can eat it herself because she's allowed to eat the Truma, the Meiser. And therefore, it's, as the Mishnah is going to say, it's going to be good for making Kiddushin. Now, it's important to point out that when a Levi gets his Meiser, he gets his 1/10, he has to take 1/10 of that 1/10 and give it to the Kohen. That's called Trumas Meiser. That has the same status as Truma. So it falls under the first example, in the first case in the Mishnah, of making Kiddushin with Truma. Okay, so far we have making Kiddushin with Truma, making Kiddushin with Maser, and now over Matonis. One who makes Kiddushin with gifts. Now, what are gifts referring to here? Gifts here are the gifts that are given to a Kohen from an animal. What does that mean? When an ordinary cow, sheep, or goat, that's not a korban, not an offering, is slaughtered, its right front leg, its cheeks, and one of its stomachs are given to a Kohen. How that's dealt with nowadays, that's a separate discussion. But right now, that's the point. That the Torah says, any animal that's slaughtered, these parts go to the Kohen. These belong to the Kohen, and he can use them to betroth a woman. And this he can give, the woman can eat from it if she wants to. It's not like Truma. But the point is, these things that he gets are his. Even though they're unique to him, they are his, and they are considered his money, and he can use them for Kiddushin. Now we got a little bit more complicated. Uve mechatas, and with the water of a para aduma, uve efer chatas, with the ashes of a para aduma. Now, again, background. A para aduma, which literally means the red cow, is needed for the purification of a person or utensil that has become tamei from a corpse. The para aduma is burned, and its ashes are mixed with spring water and sprinkled on the tamei person or utensil. Okay, now, the examples of the Mishnah are the water of the chatas and the ashes of the chatas. We're not talking about we're not talking about the actual. Well, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the water that has been designated to be used to mix the ashes in, or we're talking about the ashes themselves. This is what the guy used for Kiddushin, right? He has a para. He's making a para aduma. Right, he's making a para aduma, and he has the ashes, or he has water that's been designated for para aduma. Now, although the ashes belong to the Beis Hamikdash, meaning these things, they've been designated para aduma. Who owns them? Where are they going to? They belong to the Beis Hamikdash, right? Whether it's the water designated for that, whether it's the ashes themselves, belongs to the Beis Hamikdash. It's not something she can ever become her property. She is nevertheless betrothed if she accepts them. How so? This is because she can bring them to a person waiting to be purified and charge him for the service of bringing them to him. Thus, the man who betrothed her has given her something from which she can derive monetary benefit, and the betrothal is valid. It's very interesting. So we're starting off with a person who's got the para aduma, he's designating it for para aduma, and therefore it's going to belong to the Beis Hamikdash. It's going to belong to, it's not the para aduma water was only in the Beis Hamikdash, it was all over. But it really was, as they call it, divine property. Nonetheless, the water that I designated para aduma, and I give it to you to bring to someone who needs, right, to mix it together with the ashes of a para aduma to be able to purify himself, she can charge him for bringing the water. It's a service. She could charge him for that service. She could charge him for the service of bringing the ashes to him. And being that there is, as he says, being that there's a monetary benefit that can come from this, so therefore it is considered that she has some kind of monetary value in this. She has some kind of a monetary ownership of sorts, because she can derive money from it. So therefore, although essentially it's really divine property, we're saying here that because she has the ability, being by the man who gave it to her, she now has the ability to derive benefit from it, then there is a certain value to this. And because there's a certain value to it, that she can derive, that she has the rights to derive, therefore it's called that she received something of value. And as the Mishnah says, Harezai Mukudeshes, in all these cases, the Kiddushin works. Va'afilu Yisrael. And then we say all this, meaning what we just spoke about for Trumas and the gifts that are given to the Kohen from any animal, even a Yisrael can use these, or the Meiser, whether we're talking about, again, Truma, Meiser, the gifts, which belong to the Kohen or Levi, even a Yisrael who would use them for Kiddushin, it can work. Now, how's that going to happen? Truma, a Yisrael, what is a Truma? How can a Yisrael have Truma? And how could it have value to him in order to go ahead and even be able to sell it? Like, what connection does it have to him? How did he get this to be able to say that it's his to make Kiddushin with it? And the answer is because we are talking about a Yisrael who inherited these items from a relative who had them. Meaning, they have an example here to illustrate. There's one illustration about this. But one illustration is, if a Kohen died without sons, leaving property that included Truma, his daughter would inherit it. If she is married to a Yisrael, when she dies, her husband, who is not a Kohen, would inherit the Truma from her. Would. He inherits it. Mm-hmm. Now, you have another example that the Bar Tanur, I believe, brings down, and that is, right, that it's a similar case, just that he inherited it, mibase avi imoy kohen. His maternal grandfather was a Kohen. And the only heir to the maternal grandfather was his mother. Now, his mother married a Yisrael, and the child is a Yisrael, not a Kohen. But if, let's say, she dies, right, he's going to inherit her. So it comes out at the end that he inherits Truma, or a Meiser, or the Matanis, or the gifts of the Kohen. Yeah. So therefore, they are his. What's he going to do with it? He could sell it. He could sell it to a Kohen. The Meiser, I guess he could say he could sell it to a Levi. So the point is that the question is, how did he get to it? How did it become his? The answer, he inherited it. Once he inherits it, now it's his. And now he can use it for Kiddushin. What value is there going to be in it for him? What value is going to be in her? The answer is because of the fact that you could sell it. Mm-hmm. So for him, it's also considered that he's giving money because he could sell it. And if she's not if she's not a person who necessarily, if it's Meiser, she can eat it. If it's Truma, she may not be able to eat it if she's not daughter of a Kohen, but she can go ahead and sell it. So at the end of the day, this halacha, being able to make Kiddushin with Truma, Meiser, and the gifts given to a Kohen from any slaughtered animal, don't only apply to a Kohen making Kiddushin, but even apply to a non-Kohen, even a Yisrael making Kiddushin. Have a wonderful day.